Coming up on Gamers Watch, Duncan learns that Harry is back for another episode. Harry explains what got him into noncing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Willies. Love seeing Willies.
And Shaun drinks just to get by.
The crunch culture within CDPR.
And that pink thingy he was wearing last time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm never wearing that hoodie ever again. And that's as good a place as any to start. Hello, my name is Harry. Welcome to episode 60, the 360 No Scope edition of the Gamers Watch podcast. With me, as always, is Shaun.
Hey, howdy, hey.
And we are joined by crew member, the General C.
Hello.
Hello. We've got the three of us today. We were going to have Chelsea. Some of you may know her as Chelly Bun on Twitter. She recently joined Gamers Watch, but unfortunately her graphics card decided to Epstein itself, and it just died of completely natural causes. And she's had to back out of this show, but we're hoping that her graphics card will be with her this week, meaning that she can record with us next week, and we'll make up for the whole thing, because she's honestly got so much more credentials than any of us on this show do. So it's actually quite exciting to have somebody who writes for Game Ranks on our podcast, potentially. But saying that, I'm now a published reviewer myself, aren't I, Shaun?
Big-headedness starts. Less than 1.5 minutes in.
I'm a reviewer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? I'm a published
Just
reviewer,
hold it.
and I love easy modes.
And also, we have no Duncan today.
No.
It's a big omission.
Malak murdered him. He snuck into his house. He went down to Cornwall and he strangled him with his Turtle Beach Recon wire. And we're all very sad to lose Duncan. But
I've got my little shrine right there. You can probably see.
Duncan.
I don't have a shrine, but I do. I've got some nice, pretty flowers that they're not real; they're fake. But you know, I've got some nice flowers. So what I'm going to do for this episode,
there is another thing I've got with me as well. Because obviously, as everyone knows, like the past few months, with your little lad on the way, you buggered off. So it was just me and Duncan with the reins for Gamers Watch. And like in those few months, I thought we'd done a good job. Like we had some laughs, had some good discussions, and grew quite a bit closer. And obviously, this is the first episode since then that he's not been on with me. And they say, what do they say? Something about the heart growing fonder.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Absence
Bullshit.
makes the heart grow fonder. But my heart was already fond. So what I've brought with me today to get through today. Now this is normally on my bedside table, but I'm going to have it in front of me. Don't know if you can see it. It's just a nice little photo there of me and Duncan.
That's amazing.
Just going to keep that there with me. Just to get me
Well, Sean, while you do the intro, I'm going to find a picture of us that I'm going to put up to the screen. I think you already know the picture. No, you do the housekeeping bullshit, all that stuff. Because you know all that stuff now. I don't know.
It's not a picture of Shaun being stuck in the box at work, is it? You pointing laughing at him.
Oh,
he's actually a picture of me and Shaun when we were about 12 years old.
It's the badminton one, isn't it?
It is the badminton one. It is.
Okay, well...
So you do the housekeeping.
Yep.
It's all right. It's literally already showed up. There. It's too bright. That's so disappointing. See, does that work? Can you?
That's a bit
better. There we go.
And Ryan in the middle. Whose birthday is today?
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, that just reminds me of the sign we made for him. Yeah. Do the fucking housekeeping. Because I got a message to say, it was on my own personal Twitter account, and it is from a listener, and he does love the show, but he was like, it's 20 minutes in and you've not yet spoken about any video games. So we'll wrap the housekeeping up, and then bang, we'll go straight into not talking about games because it's Game in 60 Seconds.
All right. Well, I was going to say that we're slating Chocobo GP for episode 60, but we're not anymore, so that's out the window already.
No, I mean, we still can, but none of us have played it, so...
If you enjoy this podcast, and even if you don't, then be sure to share it. Share it with your local Square Enix. And then follow us on Twitter, which is @GamersWatchCrew. And then subscribe to us on YouTube, which is youtube.com/GamersWatch. While you're on YouTube, give this episode a little like and comment if you want. Tell us that you're good at Elden Ring, I guess, or whatever the trend is nowadays. And then also hit the notification bell to be reminded when we're about to premiere, which is every Monday at 7:30 p.m. GMT, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And buy
that is
bloody merch.
Buy the bloody merch. Buy the merch. So there we go. Shall we, Connor? You've got a game in 60 seconds this week. I like it when you do your ones.
I do.
Because your game in 60 second clues, they go one of two ways.
They're either really shit.
They're really, really good, and they're like proper brain teasers, or they're what you're about to potentially say. So, Shaun, are you just stroking Duncan's face?
I remember when you let me do the whole intro. Next week.
Next week. I'll tell you what, Shaun, you can do the fucking outro.
I've also, my drink, I forgot to mention it. I bought drink this time.
Yes, what have you got?
I almost spilled my drink.
Took a trip down memory lane. Don't know if you, well, you probably do remember these. Henry Westons.
Oh, mate, we used to get absolutely smashed on those.
That's because it decided to get when you got no money and you want to get pissed.
Yes, it is. Cheap.
Still tastes like shit.
Yes.
I'm over here sipping on tequila.
I've got a nice orange juice because I've gone teetotal this year.
Fuck off.
No, I have. I haven't had a drink since New Year.
Yeah, but you're not going to go the whole year without having a drink.
I'm going to try. I'm genuinely going to try. So, on that, talking about my crushing alcoholism, Connor, do you want to do your game in 60 seconds this week?
Yes. Ready?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. My jeans are undone.
Oh my god.
You were so animated in that delivery. Oh no. My jeans are undone.
Oh no. My jeans are undone.
Oh no, my jeans are undone. Okay. I don't have that. We'll find out what it is. Stick around until the end of the show to find out what that one is. My one is I just dumped that angry inferno. And again, stick around until the end to find that one out. And Shaun, I'm guessing you've got a picture.
Roll up. Yep. Let me stick
that
it
was
in
a banging finger crack, that was.
It was. Upload file. Where is he? Where be it? Well, it's not me and Duncan before you get ahead of yourself.
It's not Boyfriend Dungeon then.
No. I did think it did cross my mind. It'll be with you in 3, 2, 1. Processing. Processing.
There we go.
It's there somewhere.
Okay, it's a wrestler. I don't know who that is, and he's by a site of grace.
I have no idea who that is either. I'm not.
The only thing I know about this guy is I think his whole his catchphrase was just the word yes.
For a little while, yeah. He started off as saying no, and then basically he became more popular than the WWE wanted him to. So everyone started saying yes, and then they went along with it, so it became yes.
And then didn't he tear his knees off or something, and then he just never was very good again? Something like that.
He won.
He probably wrestles for AEW now anyway, doesn't he? So
actually does. Yep, he does.
Duncan and Shaun have imparted some wrestling knowledge on me. Also, played a bit of WWE 2K22. It's very fun. Didn't know what I was doing. Enjoyed it. So, another week with another game I like. I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. I don't know what his name is. Connor, do you wrestle? Do you do the wrestling?
Don't watch wrestling. Never been into wrestling. Played a few of the wrestling games when I was a kid. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be obvious if I knew who that person was. But shall we move on to our first segment, which was going to be talking about Chocobo GP, as Shaun's already mentioned, and we were going to sort of talk about their monetization and how they're attracting children to these lovely cartoony games that are riddled with microtransactions. And I think recently the director of Square Enix said that a lot of people play games for fun, but some people play games for accomplishments. And they're basically going down that route of monetization and NFT gaming. And we're going to have a whole discussion about it with Chelly, who is an actual reviewer and a writer. And her computer's died. So instead, Shaun, what are we going to talk about in the first segment today?
We're going to talk about, because it's episode 60 and because there's three of us, we're going to talk 360 memories.
360 no scope. Biatch.
None of mine contain 360 no scopes.
What you did with the three
FPSs.
I like what you did with the 360. My dumbass just 60 and 360, but there's three of us 360. I like that. So, Connor, we'll start with you. I'm going to guess your early memories of Xbox are Halo related.
Of course, yeah.
Fuck, that's £5.
Yep, there we go.
Yep, that's an obvious one. Halo is what got me into gaming on Xbox. But as we're talking about the 360, my first tippy toes into the world of the Xbox 360 was actually Call of Duty 2.
Oh, same.
And I really loved that game. I remember playing it in a Toys R Us before Christmas 2005 when I actually got the Xbox 360. And my parents played a harsh joke on me saying I wasn't getting the Xbox, and I actually did get the Xbox. So you can imagine my face Christmas morning.
What is it with parents and playing cruel jokes with new consoles? Because there was when the Game Boy Advance came out, I wanted that so bad. And at Christmas, my parents let me open first this like bubble bath holder that was shaped like a Game Boy Advance. You know those little games that some like shit things had where you press the button and it was like a little ring inside water and you had to like get... Yeah, it was one of them, but like a Game Boy Advance bubble bath. And they were like, that's what you wanted, right? Yeah. Then they had the Game Boy
I understand why they do that now that I'm older, because they want to they want you to be surprised, don't they?
Oh, exactly.
Getting what you want to get.
If I had kids, I'd do that because it's just a sick joke to play. It'd be funny.
I am so excited to like. I am properly excited to embarrass, and there we go. So £5 donated to the Ukraine Red Cross. See, Duncan, I'm not a completely heartless bastard.
And what game was that for, Harry?
Fuck off. I'm not donating any more fucking money. That's lunch gone
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Completely heartless bastard. You were right.
Oh, it's really annoying because I can't talk about what got me into Xbox now because I don't want to donate any more money.
What was it?
What game was it?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. So, yeah, Call of Duty 2 was a banger of a game. Did you play multiplayer?
I loved that game in multiplayer. I met some really good friends that just grew apart, unfortunately, and I don't even know what their names are on my old Xbox Live account because I don't use that account anymore. Yeah, that's unfortunate. People change their names. Back in the day, they used to message you when they changed their names, and some people unfortunately forget to message you. So, yeah, friendships lost there. Would be nice to know how those people are doing nowadays.
So I think what a lot of people forget with early Call of Duty is it it obviously wasn't the monolith of gaming that it is now. They were good, but Call of Duty was made to take down Medal of Honor. And ironically enough, Medal of Honor did that to themselves. So there weren't too many people, really. I mean, obviously there was a lot of people, but there wasn't like the huge amount of volume of people playing Call of Duty then as there is today. So that online scene was much better in my mind. It was much more friendly and open than any sort of gaming lobby you'll find now.
To it, because there's toxicity at all levels of all things.
Yeah,
but
as we
back
found
in the day, like at least people would actually talk to you in lobbies, and you could actually make friends online back then. Nowadays, no one talks online. It's like no one even plugs their mics in. Most people are either in party chat, which is unfortunate because some of the best friendships I've forged on Xbox Live.
Yeah. I've got vivid memories of Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3 with a couple of friends of mine, and this Welsh kid called Vocal Sonic just following us into every single lobby that he could, and it drove me absolutely insane. But he was like he was obviously this like young guy who just wanted to hang around with a couple of mates, and fuck me, he did not leave us alone. Yeah. He would not fucking leave us alone. It was days and days of it, but it was still fun. Like, I think he enjoyed it. But yeah, Call of Duty 2 is a great game. I think, actually, no, I don't need to donate £5 because I remember the game that got me into Xbox, and it was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare 2.
Oh, I forgot about those games. That should be on my list here.
You had the headset, and you would talk it, or was that SOCOM? Oh no, that was SOCOM. But yeah, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare was the first ever Xbox game that I owned myself. I played the OG Xbox because a friend of mine had it, and I played Football Manager of all games that you would play, and it was a Rockstar game, and I can't remember what it's called now. State of Emergency. That was another Xbox game that I played.
Forgot about that one.
That was a great game.
That was the one where you could like run into shopping malls.
You just going around a mall,
the shit out of everything.
Yeah, just burning everything down. And so I played some original Xbox games, and I'd had a PS2. And then when the PS3, Xbox 360 era launched, all of my friends got the 360 because it was like £200 cheaper. And so, yeah, the first game that I played was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare 2, and really annoyingly, it had an achievement in there, which it was the early days of achievements, and it was be number 1 in the world at the game. Like that was one of the achievements, was be the best player in the game.
What were they thinking back then with the achievements? Achievements were like so random.
It was worth 1 gamer score.
What?
Mate, yeah. Because they didn't know what they were doing with achievements, did they?
Fuck
it
that.
Was,
genius.
Mate, so the first game that I ever played instantly put me off of achievement hunting. Like, I see like Randall, who's the million gamer score guy, and I see people like just hit 500,000. I've been playing Xbox for nearly 20 years, and my gamer score is about 42,000 because I just don't care. I think it might be 43,000 because I've nearly 1,000 pointed shredders.
You say you've been playing Xbox for 20 years?
On my original account, I've got over like 100,000 gamer score, something like that.
It's only 20 years old last year.
Yeah, because I've been playing
the original Xbox.
Since... No, but my stepbrother did. So I would go around to his and I would play it. But,
okay.
Yeah, I've been playing on Xbox consoles for like 20 years. And then I got a 360 launch week of the 360 era. And so I've owned an Xbox ever since the 360 launch, but I've been playing Xboxes since they came out. But yeah, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare was my first game. Wasn't the first game I fell in love with. Shaun, you know the first game I fell in love with.
That was the first game I fell in love with as well, because it was the first game I had. Also, 95,000 my gamer score is. Not even
Viva Pinata by any chance?
Fucking yes, it's Viva Pinata. They need to make a new Viva Pinata.
They will at some point, I'm sure of it.
They do. And in Unreal Engine 5 and it needs to have microtransactions and loot boxes. And imagine if you could like own an NFT of a pinata. Oh, mate,
can't wait to buy a pinata NFT.
That would be so good. Also, some good news: NFTs are tanking at the moment, and the market for them is plummeting through the ground. But yeah, Viva Pinata was the first game I fell in love with. Shaun?
Fuck NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, so Viva Pinata was the first game I got with my 360. I got it at Christmas. And my sister also got the Wii for Christmas that year, so it was a double console Christmas, and I hated the Wii.
Do you still hate the Wii?
Of course, yeah, I still hate the Wii. But of course, being the Wii, it was the games console that all my family liked after me spending years of my life trying to get them to enjoy games. So fuck myself, I guess. Anyway, we went to
with a Wiimote.
we went to my uncle and aunt's for Christmas Day because we used to like rotate whose house it was at, and everyone stayed downstairs to play the Wii, and me and my cousin Naomi were like, I want to see what this Viva Pinata is about. So we went upstairs, plugged the Xbox in, started playing Viva Pinata at like 2 p.m, and I don't think we stopped playing until about 5 a.m, Boxing Day. Like we got hooked on this fucking game. It was so good. It was just so fun. Like trying to get all the different like houses built of the pinatas, or doing certain like we done. Is it Flutterscotch where there was like 9 different variants?
Oh yes, there was. There was the red hots, the ants.
Yeah,
no, it was the flies, wasn't it? The red hot flies, and you put them through the fire.
Yeah, the fly. I think it was called Toffly or Toffly, wasn't it? It's like toffee and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make them fly through a fucking flame and they turn into a red hot. Then there was the snakes, which you could turn into
bash on the head.
Double-headed snake. And then you do it again with 2 of them and they turn into 4-headed snake. But it was so good.
I don't remember that at all when I played that.
Oh,
so it was one of the variants of the. I can't remember what the snake is called now. It's going to bug me.
Time to find.
But yeah, one of the variants was that you would hit just as the egg was about to hatch. You would hit it, and then a 2-headed snake would come out, and then you would breed 2-headed snakes, and then do the same where you hit the egg just as it was about to hatch, and then it would make a 4-headed. And then dumbass over here thought maybe I could make an 8-headed snake, and kept trying to breed 2 4-headed snakes. And it just didn't work. We all have a favorite pinata, obviously.
The one-headed was called Syrupant. 2-headed was called Twinger
Snaps.
And the other one was called, once my thing loads, it's just called 4 Heads.
4 Heads, of course.
Obvious.
I dropped the ball on that name.
But everyone, obviously, you've all got your own favourite pinata. Shaun, what's your favourite?
We just doing pinata 1 or
no,
any pinata?
Trouble in Paradise, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because mine, and it will be very obvious once I say the name of it, is Crustacean.
Yeah,
because Crab got a thing for crabs. Don't know why. Sir Crabbington. It will happen.
Shaun has crabs. Yeah. You heard it here first. Shaun has crabs.
How can you hate that? Oh, my fucking ring light's in the way. Look at him.
It's a good pinata. I know the one.
As I don't remember the game that much, I'd probably have to say my favourite was the worm. So could say I have worms.
Gotta love a good worm.
Shaun has crabs.
My favourite is Fudge Hog, just because it's just a fun one to say, innit? Fudge Hog.
Also, fuck CDOS. That's all I say.
Yes.
Hate him. Little prick. Don't know why, just hate him. Worse than the villain.
I literally have no idea what that is.
CDOS was the little dude.
He's this kid that comes along.
Seeds.
Yeah, and he gives you seeds. And if you have the audacity to whack him around the head with a shovel because he's invading your land, he'll plant
more seeds.
Poison ivy and stuff that just kills your pinatas off. So I hate him.
Yeah, he was a dick. I absolutely fell in love with Viva Pinata. Oh, I love Willy. Willies are the best. Willies. I love Willies. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Willy's. Love seeing Willy's on my screen. Love touching,
Hammering away.
hammering away at Willy's. Yeah, it's good. Bashing away Willy's, really good. Gobbling Willies, having them in my mouth, ejaculation all over my face. Is that what you wanted me to say, Shaun?
No, I was talking about Willy Builder in Viva Pinata.
Oh. So was I? Anyway, should we talk about Witcher? That
was one memory, and that was your memory.
It was your memory as well. Oh, you spoke about
it was mine as well, but we got right.
Mass Effect trilogy list of.
Okay,
we got three.
Yeah.
Mass Effect trilogy. I'll just quickly round Mass Effect trilogy, just because Mass Effect is one of the best trilogies of all time, and also it was. I don't know if it came installed with the 360, but it was like a collection of like small arcadey games. One of them was Texas Hold'em, and before I had the 360, when it was just Ryan that had a 360. I'd go over his every now and then. We could just literally play Texas Hold'em. I don't know what it was about this game. I'd never played poker, never had an interest in poker beforehand. This fucking Texas Hold'em arcade game we spent days upon days on. And I remember...
Was that the one with the avatars, where you could have your Xbox Live avatar in it?
I'm not sure. You might have... It was before the avatars were a thing, but you could have, like... I think you had the gamer pick. But the main thing I remember is if you press to go all in, it would just do this guitar noise of like...
Oh, yeah, sure, I remember that one.
Be like, oh, it's on.
He means business. So, Mass Effect trilogy, Texas Hold'em, and Viva Pinata.
And some of my other memories are Halo 3, Halo Reach, Gears of War 1 to 3, Crackdown 1, Saints Row 1 and 2. Played so many hours of Saints Row 2. I've lost count.
What is everyone's favourite Gears game, by the way?
Oh, it's out of 2 and 3. I'm going to say 3 just because it did actually. It done the hard task of actually wrapping up the entire trilogy story really well. Whereas, as we've seen before,
I just love the first one so much.
Trilogies are hard to
because
wrap
the first
up.
one was just something that, in my little mind, I couldn't comprehend being such a great game.
Yeah, I think the first one for me as well.
The first one is just sort of came out of nowhere in my sort of like experience on Xbox, and just fucking dominated my experience on Xbox.
I don't think Gears is the best game, but it's my favourite one of them. I think that's the caveat. I think 3 is the best one to play.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
From like a mechanical point of view, 3 is hands. I'd say 3 is probably better than any other that's recently launched. And that's including Hivebusters, which is really good. But it is a DLC. Hivebusters is not a game; it's a DLC.
For me, it's more the introduction to that world in Gears 1. It was like, oh shit, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, and it did it in such a weird way. Like, it was these beefy macho men, but yet it was so over the top. But it knew it was over the top, but it didn't care. And then that real like arcadey nonsense was like just smashed together with this like post-apocalyptic utter nightmare.
Yeah,
it was absolutely mad. Amazing. It was. It's
first time using the Lancer with the chainsaw. It blows your mind. Like,
yeah,
that first experience in that world using that weapon just blew my mind.
Yeah,
it sold really well as well. But what do you think was the best-selling 360 game of all time? Because I've only just found out what it was, and I don't know how to feel about it.
The best
It's got to be a fucking Rockstar game, isn't it?
The highest-selling 360 game of all time, and I've still got
GTA 5.
I'll tell you how many it sold. It sold 24 million.
GTA 5 or something like Minecraft or something along those lines.
Oh, Minecraft is a good shout.
I will tell you, GTA 5 is second, Minecraft is third.
Ooh.
What? So what the hell could be first?
What? And you don't know how to feel about this. I tell you what, we'll save this until the end. If anyone in the chat now can guess, and then Sean, you tell us at the end of the episode.
No Google.
Just
Don't be going to Google search and finding it out.
Because that ruins the spirit of it, doesn't it?
Well,
if you have to
that's what they're going to do.
Well, don't do that. Audience. Sean, focus in just on me now. Get rid of all the sidebar. Get rid of all the graphics. Just my face.
I think at this point in the podcast, you should do a poll on the chat.
Yes.
Sean,
list like 4 games that it could be, and then everyone can choose them. And then do the poll.
Okay.
Do the poll now. We'll do the poll. Bang. The poll goes out. No Googling, guys. Don't Google. No Googling.
Don't Google it, because if you Google it, you've got a nonce.
You've got a nonce if you Google it.
Do you want me to give you two the 4 options now as well?
Yes. Yeah, give us the 4 options. I'm quite excited to find this out now.
Okay, so... Sorry. Number 1, Dance Central. Number 2 is The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Number 3 is Kinect Adventures. And number 4 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
It's Kinect Adventures, because the Kinect came with every single Xbox at one point. That's what I'm going to say is the top.
What was the first one?
Dance Central.
Can't imagine it being Dance Central.
It's Kinect Adventures.
Dance games are fucking popular.
And what was the last one?
Modern Warfare 3.
I'm going to go with Modern Warfare 3 just because I know how popular Call of Duty got at that point, and that's just going to be my guess there.
I was so disappointed with Modern Warfare 3.
I'm going to stick with Kinect Adventures, or whatever it was called. Sean?
I know what the answer is, so I'm not going to guess.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, no, I'm asking you to... What
I
was...
thought we were doing that at the end. Oh, fuck me. Okay.
No,
the highest selling 360 game of all time is Kinect Adventures, because it was bundled with the Kinect, 24 million poor souls bought that fucking thing, including me.
Yeah, I bought it as well. What an absolute waste of money that was.
Train wreck of a device.
That shouldn't count. That should not count.
Well, no, it's like Wii Sports is the best-selling Wii game ever, isn't it? But it literally came with the console.
About 4 people tried playing it. I reckon. About 4 people actually played that game.
Yeah. I wonder what the achievement rate is for, like, you can see percentage of how many people have got a certain achievement. I wonder how many people that have played that have actually even got an achievement, or they've just turned it on and gone, nope, that's shit.
I'd say about 4 people played that game seriously, and about maybe 32 actually loaded that game up and went, no, I ain't playing this.
Do you think there's like a speedrunning community for Kinect Adventures?
Yeah, who can fucking uninstall it quickest?
Yeah, exactly.
Plug it from the back of their Xbox quicker.
Yeah. So, Sean, are we okay now to move on to The Witcher?
Yeah, why not?
Are you okay to do so? So, I want to caveat something very quickly. I don't really like The Witcher 3. Everyone bangs on about it being one of the best games ever made. It's a good game. Like it's a good solid game. But the combat I found really clunky. Geralt's voice annoys the hell out of me. Like, I know that's his thing. Yeah, Roach. Yes. Like, it's okay. Very good port of it on the Switch. I'm very impressed with how good it played on the Switch. They did magic to get that running smoothly, but it just didn't butter my toast. I think I put like maybe 20 hours into it, and just meh, it's all right. It's a game. It existed. However, love the TV show. I think the TV show's banging. I know they've taken a few creative licenses, and lots of people have been angry at certain casting decisions, which I think is ridiculous because they're all made up people. However, quite excited that a new Witcher has been announced. Do we all think it's going to work? Is the first question.
Of course it will. People love that world.
It's not their own engine, so I imagine it'll run a bit smoother.
Can you expand on that quickly, Sean? Because if I talk about that, I might die of laughter. What do you mean when you say it's not their own engine? Because Didn't they just spend 10 years building an engine for Cyberpunk?
Yes, and as we all know, Cyberpunk was a bit of a train wreck, and continues to be a bit of a train wreck.
Still broken,
people.
apparently, yeah.
So the thing is,
it's really
I wouldn't say
weird.
they spent 10 years building the engine. It was more they were upgrading the engine they already had.
Yeah.
So they used that engine on the last Witcher game,
They
which had
did.
problems.
That makes it worse.
They were just
though.
upgrading the engine for Cyberpunk. And that's probably where a lot of the issues come from, because obviously things weren't upgraded correctly.
Like, they took the engine apart. Basically, if you were to put this into like real terms of an actual car engine, they got like the best mechanics in the world to make this engine. And they dismantled the engine, and they put all the pieces in the right place. And then they and some Pritt stick and went, there you go, mate, put it back together. And he just smashed the thing together and went, there you go. Like, that's... I think maybe bleep out the name I just used, please, Shaun.
I was going to make it
that was a big yikes.
I was going to make a different analogy of something like they started with an Aston Martin, tried to upgrade to a Mercedes, and ended up with a Ford. But fucking hell.
Can you bleep the name out, please, Shaun?
Yep.
Thank you. Whoopsie daisy. But yeah, like...
But like, even like everyone said, even with Cyberpunk being a mess, once it goes down enough, people still buy it when the price is right.
Yeah. Yeah. When the price is right. Yeah. People...
That's what got me. I had to bite my tongue.
They won't understand this joke now because we bleeped it out, but thank you for bleeping it out, Shaun. So there is a new Witcher game, and I think it brings up one of two things for me. The first thing it brings up is I'm very excited to see what CDPR are working on, right? The world of... I've got no doubt in my mind that the world of The Witcher 3 is phenomenal. I didn't play anywhere near enough of it to... which sounds stupid, I put 20 hours into it, but I didn't play near enough of it to experience the entire world. But what I did, it felt quite alive. The story was pretty engaging, but it had its issues that I just couldn't get around. Much like another game that I'm not going to talk about. However,
okay,
I'm not going to talk about it because it's been driving Duncan and Shaun mad for about a month now. However,
Which one?
Elden Ring. However,
fucking games.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the one where you have to
talk about.
£5.
The one that I'm allowed to talk about. However, what it has shown is with this one picture of a medallion in the snow, is that everybody has forgotten what complete shits CDPR are. Because let's not beat around the bush. Devs were crunched. People weren't paid. They lied openly to reviewers. They lied openly to the public. They lied to their shareholders. The top dogs at CDPR pushed a broken game out. They pushed out a console. They pushed out a custom console for a game they knew wouldn't run on it. Only allowed certain people to review the game. Only allowed pre-rendered footage to be shown. And then when all of this came about, threw Sony under the bus by saying, just get your money back, whatever. I think, yes, you can be excited about The Witcher, but let's not forget the track record that CDPR have got over the last 2 years. It reminds me very much of, the GTA 5 bullshit remake, remaster that's just come out. People have just completely forgotten the shit show that is the GTA trilogy remaster.
I really can't believe that people are actually buying GTA 5 again. It fucking baffles me. This is the kind of behaviour that Rockstar want, because the more you buy it, the less likely GTA 6 is coming anytime soon.
Yeah. And then when GTA 6 does come out, it will be a shell of what we're expecting.
For those of you that keep banging on about GTA 6, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, don't buy GTA 5, please, again, for the 9th time. But I think it's shown the complete sort of disconnect of, like, today, it's amazing. I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing that it's like, I think it's International Developer Day, and there's loads of devs that are like, hey, I'm a developer. This is what I look like. and they're getting some really positive feedback and loads of interaction. It's really awesome to see developers highlighted in this way. But what this Witcher announcement has showed is that people have very selective memories when it comes to remembering the bullshit that CDPR have pulled. I'm excited about the Witcher game. I'm not even a big Witcher fan, but I'm excited that they've said it's a new saga within the franchise. That seems great. But, like, they're dicks. Are they not? Like, they fucked over their devs for years, crunched them for years, threw out a broken product. It's still broken a year and a half after launch. And now, what are they? And now they've completely ditched the engine that they built and broke to now get all of the developers that have. I think what we're going to forget here is this dev team. They've been using this one engine consistently now for over a decade easily. They now have to learn a new engine. Like, that's not going to be easy. Look at what is it the Coalition? Yeah,
Gears.
Coalition. They are not even announcing Gears 6. We know it's coming. We know it's going to be an Unreal 5 because they're just trying to get to grips with the game engine.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're doing a project in between.
Yeah. Do we really think that CDPR are just going to knock this out of the bag? I'll be interested to see what you guys think because I've just gone on
coming for at least 5 to 6 years. So
I've gone on a rant and I'm going to let you guys speak now. But that's my thoughts. I'm excited, but fuck CDPR again.
Personally, I absolutely loved Cyberpunk. I can't say I had any major issues with the game apart from a few issues with some glitches with some cars, but I didn't get none of the bad glitches. I got to enjoy that game mostly all the way through with a few hiccups here and there. And I really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, not everyone else had that experience.
No.
A lot of people had some real major issues and couldn't play the game. A lot of people's characters were pretty much deleted. They had to go back to starting the game again. That's just unfortunate. But they've got a long way to go before they earn trust again, and that comes from me as well. They've got to earn my trust again because I'm going to be sitting there thinking, I'm not going to pre-order this game because I'm not going to have that what-if situation if this game doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So they've got to earn that respect back from the people first, and they need to do that with Cyberpunk by giving us, I don't know, free content, showing us that they can actually pull off this next Witcher game. And then they'll get some sort of trust back and people will go, okay, well, they seem to have learnt their lesson. So I'll cut them a little bit of slack.
From my point of view, I don't trust them to have learnt a lesson because about 3 years before Cyberpunk launched, there was Glassdoor reviews showing a hideous culture of crunch within CDPR. And the big boys at CDPR came out and said, "Oh, we'll address it. We'll address it." And their version of addressing the crunch culture within CDPR was to tell people, "Well, if you don't like crunch, you don't have to work here," which is madness because Poland doesn't have a big game development scene. So really, for budding game developers that live in Poland, CDPR are the one place they can really get consistent work. And their response to crunch culture was to say, if you don't like it, leave.
Unless you want to work on the game more and you want to crunch yourself because you absolutely love the world you're building.
See, even then, I've just come out the back of being crunched by my job. It's nothing like what's just happened with CDPR. But I was doing 50-hour weeks, and that's my contract. I was doing 50-hour weeks. And as much as I loved my job when it was good, it fucking ruined me. And so there has to be a point where we say games are good, but people's well-being is more important. Shaun,
your health is more important than your job.
Yeah, 100%. And I found that out over the last few years. Shaun,
not just your body health, your mental health as well, because doing a job that exceeds its like limit on you hours-wise can really take a toll on your mental health.
Yeah, it properly gets you. That's one of the reasons I took some time off. Just my mind was not there. Sean, what are your feelings on Witcher 3? Because I don't think we've ever really spoken about it much.
No, I'm not like post-release. I mean, mine's very kind of similar to yours, but not quite as negative because we got it the same day, the day before it came out, through a certain store.
Yes.
Yep. And mine, it was similar to yours, where I enjoyed the game. I didn't find like his voice annoying or anything like that. I was thoroughly enjoying my time. Just stopped playing one day. Don't know why. Never picked it back up again. Like I played it for
that's exactly me as well.
Yeah, it was a good. I'd say it was a good couple of months I was playing it for, but I never got to the end. I don't know how far away from the end I got because it's a fucking long game. But just stopped playing it and never picked it up again, and haven't had like an urge to pick it up again at all ever since. So I'm not.
I think I must have got to the halfway point, and then something else must have come out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go play that," and then I just never came back to The Witcher as much as I should have because I really enjoyed the time I spent in that game. I just never came back to it.
But yeah, I've never had an urge to go back to it either, and like when this new Witcher Saga got announced, I didn't have like I wasn't like, oh, it's gonna be good. It was a very weird, indifferent moment for me. I was like, okay, carried on scrolling. Haven't seen the haven't seen the Netflix series yet, so that might make me more excited.
Oh, watch it!
Just because
I've got like
my TV
half of
time
the next season to finish.
My TV time is very limited because I would just rather be playing games. So it's basically just while I'm eating dinner that we'll watch TV.
The Netflix season is good, but again, much like the game, has a few issues.
Also,
the first season is a little rocky, but it gets better in season 2.
Did I see something today? I haven't looked into it properly. It was again when I was just quickly scrolling. That Xbox Game Pass Ultimate users can somehow watch the new Halo series on their Xbox.
I think they're giving you a free month to Paramount Plus, but unfortunately,
it's not
in
available
the UK, we won't get that.
Yeah, when I saw the word,
and
I
we
was
don't
like,
get that series until a later point.
Being a pirate is all right to be. Do what you want because a pirate is free.
See, the thing is, Shaun,
are a pirate. Sorry, I just really love that song.
You see, the thing is, Shaun, we actually ain't getting the series, the Halo series, in the UK anytime soon. It comes to the US through Paramount Plus, and we don't get it until either a month or beyond later.
We absolutely do. Pirate the show.
Yeah, yes. I saw.
Here you go.
Because
I'm endorsing that message.
I can't endorse that message, but you know,
I don't give a fuck.
A lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah, because we've got no other option if we want to watch it.
Personally, I wouldn't want to wait a month or plus because spoilers. But yeah,
Shaun, were you just looking at?
I'll be able to avoid. No, I imagine I'll be able to avoid spoilers because I don't really go on. I don't frequent that many like subreddits or whatever sort of thing as well. But I just thought because like I said, I didn't look into it. I just saw the headline sort of thing, and I was like, oh, is that their workaround for us to get it in the UK with not having Paramount Plus? But
very good attempt, Shaun. Very good attempt.
I
believe it's going to Sky TV in the UK.
Oh, of course it is.
We're going to be waiting a while because you know what Sky are like for holding TV shows off. I've watched TV shows in the past. The Flash is one of them. As much as that show got really cringy, and I hate it now because of how cringy it is.
We
waited a long time for the Flash to actually sync up.
I've disliked Sky for a while now, and there's two main reasons. One, they took WWE off of free-to-air TV in the UK. Two, they took Formula One off of free-to-air TV in the UK. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. I don't have Sky anymore. I don't use Sky. I don't use their streaming service, Now TV. The only services I use is Amazon Video.
Pirate the stuff.
Netflix.
Illegally stream it and pirate it.
No, Harry, don't endorse pirating, please.
I do stream the F1 races. It's just lower quality. Like I remember the good old days of BBC, ITV, and Channel 4 all having F1. Good presenters, good commentators, and you could watch it in HD or whatever the highest resolution was for TV at the time.
Oh, I'm sad. I'm just looking at the next because I'm just looking at the next segment and I forgot to edit it. All 4 of us have put time into Tunic, but there's only 3 of us because Chelsea's fucking PC broke.
Just message her and ask her quick bullet point opinions, and we can put them in.
Do you like Tunic? Yes or no? Annoyingly, I really wanted Paul to be in this episode because I know he's got some thoughts on Tunic. How much time has everybody put into Tunic?
Between 4 and 5 hours.
Sure.
And a lot of that's been struggle.
I think mine's a bit more. From what because I was having a talk with Paul about it. From what I can gather, I'm like a couple of hours from the end. At the
right. Okay. So
I'm quite near the end.
I've put about 3 hours in, so I'm not really in a position to talk much about it. But Shaun, you've played the most of it, so do you want to give like a quick 5-10 minute overview of your thoughts of where you're at, and then me and Connor can then discuss it after? Because if you've played the most of it, I've put the bullet points in there. There's 6 of them that I've put in there that I wanted to talk about, but go through it. Tell us, because I've got some thoughts on it, and I know that they might not agree with you, maybe.
Right.
Shocker,
so,
I know.
Overall, it is a really good game. I'm very conflicted with this game, though, because there's 2 areas. One area is kind of slightly flawed, but it doesn't make too much of an impact. The other area of this game is so badly flawed that it puts me off the game quite a lot. So the one that's slightly flawed, but is also its strongest point, which is why it's a bit conflicting, is the, I guess, exploration and also the manual mechanic. So you'll find these pages throughout the world, and each page is a part of a manual book, which is basically the good old manual books you used to get in your physical editions of games that you used to read on the way home.
I really like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is one of my favourite mechanics in a long, long time, this manual mechanic, because
I like that too.
It basically, as it unfolds, it sort of unfolds different puzzles and slowly guides you to where to go next, sort of thing. So you unlock the map for the main hub world in one of them, and there'll be a certain area where you're like, I don't really get what that is, because there's this fox language, so it doesn't quite, it's not all in English sort of thing. And it'll be written in the fox language with a little icon. You're like, what the fuck is that? And then you'll go off do something else. You'll find another manual page, and you'll sort of notice that the icon on the back page is the same as the one on the map. And you'll have a little diagram there, and it'll just all slowly link together. So you'll just be guided through this world. The things that I think are a bit flawed with it is the initial tutorial or base mechanics, I think, should just be directly explained, whereas they are hidden in this manual, hidden language thing as well. So there was some stuff, there's these cards you can pick up and you equip them in your inventory. And I think it's different things, one's an attack boost, one's a health boost. There's a mine area, which is where I found out about this, halfway through the game, where you get a gas mask card. And basically, if you equip it, he puts a mask on, and it stops this debuff thing that decreases your entire maximum health. And I didn't know about this mechanic at all until I was about halfway through the game, and you get your first fucking card within the first 15 minutes of this game. So I think that just the very basic initial mechanics need to be a bit clearer, and then the rest I'm completely fine with puzzle-wise. The other bit where it's flawed is the entire final act isn't explained of what to do in the fucking slightest. There is nothing. You will have to resort to a guide to know what to do next. There's no hint. So the middle part of the game, the manual pages.
I think that's what Paul was mentioning, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because Paul did say to me that I shouldn't do a review on it until after I completed it, but that's not what my Pass or Play series is about. My Pass or Play series isn't a review.
Your experience once you get to the final third will greatly change. But it's mainly because of this lack of direction or help of direction, because the manual all the way up through the game you unlock these different maps that are sort of like guides to different dungeons. But if you look at it, they're actually in the manual. They're in order of what dungeon to do. Once you've done those dungeons and got to a certain point in the story where something happens, it just doesn't do anything. There's no help whatsoever. Like, you can just wander aimlessly around, and because there's no instant quick travel, there's like a few teleport things, but you always have to go to a teleporter to teleport to another one. So you could go all the way to the other end of the map and then be like, oh, I need to go fucking here, but there's no teleporter near you, so you got trapped for like 10 minutes to get there. So that becomes a bit of a ball ache. The worst offense in this game is the combat. It is dreadful. Like, I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's the Dark Souls approach it's tried to take, because it is like, it's a tough, the combat is tough and you will die fairly often, and you lose your coins and you got to go to where you died to get your coins once you've died. But it just doesn't work with this game, I don't think. It's all right with the quick small mobs you find in the overworld that die in a couple of hits, because it just feels, it doesn't feel like Dark Souls combat. That it feels more like your traditional Zelda combat, where you do just approach your enemy, slash a few times, it's dead, carry on.
Yeah.
When it gets to a boss fight or larger mobs where you're really outnumbered, it falls apart so badly, the combat. It just becomes tedious and not fun in the slightest.
There was one bit that I found. Sorry, I was going to say, there was one bit where I found the combat really let me down, and it's almost immediately in the game, because I got the sword, and that was a bit of a nightmare, because some of the mobs you had to hit with a stick, and that took a while. But once you got the sword, you're like, I am God. And then you get to the first mini boss, and I think my problem with it is Death's Door, I'm going to compare it to. So Death's Door had really, really solid combat. My favourite thing about Death's Door was the combat, how smooth and fluid it was. The dodging, the striking animations, everything in Death's Door felt like it was built around its combat first. So the enemies were engaging and the bosses were tough as fucking nails, but really, really engaging and really, really like meticulously designed around the combat that you can do in the game. What my problem with Tunic is, and it's why I don't want to play it anymore, because I feel like I'm just going to have much of the same, is that every enemy, if it's a bigger enemy, it just feels like the smaller enemy made bigger with more health. Like, that's the level of growth that you get with the bosses, is it's the same as the other guy with a sword, but you just have to hit him more times. Like, I don't feel like there's anything inherently special about any of the bosses I found. And then once I'd got the sword and I'd beaten the boss and then managed to find the ramp behind the bit of texture that we both got stuck on, because some of the level design in this game is really, really bad. Once we had got past that, I then went to the main area, and you have to find the key for the house. But those mobs they don't have a de-aggro zone. So you're running through all of the enemies because, like, I didn't want to fight them. I just wanted to get the key. But they just follow you. They don't ever stop. And then you get to a point where you get near the point where you need to go to, and there's just like 30 enemies that have just followed you and not de-aggroed.
Can't say I've actually had that problem.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's something that really bothered me, is that you can really easily aggro enemies, but you can't get rid of them very easily. And I know that's stupid, but the combat's so shit that I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to, at least when I'm playing Elden Ring, and I'm going to make this, people are actually comparing these two games at the moment because of the combat and difficulty. When I'm playing Elden Ring and I die, 95% of the time it's my fault, right? It is. Like, I won't have dodged properly. I'll have swung my sword at the wrong moment. I'll have done a heavy attack instead of rollback. Like, most of the times I'm dying in Elden Ring, it's my fault. And that's mainly because I'm not very good at Elden Ring, but also because I'm impatient. And there's that meme where it shows, like, right, you've memorized their attack cycle. What are you going to do? I'm going to swing my sword again. No! Like, that's the whole meme of Elden Ring. But with Tunic, it doesn't matter. You just swing your sword as much as you can and hope you don't get hit as many times to kill you. Like, that's the combat. It's really where the game falls down.
Yeah, with the enemy aggro as well. Because like Elden Ring, if you die and you want to get back to your runes, 90% of the enemies you can just bomb past and you're back to your runes.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, fuck me, they chase you to the end of the earth, and it's just a pain in the ass. But there's also
I've not had that issue. I've managed to get away from enemies pretty easy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's my issue is that I spend more time in a game where combat is essential running away from simple enemies because I can't be asked. Like, combat is a huge part of this game,
I think that's one of my...
I don't want to fight anything because the combat's shit.
Yeah, I think that's one of my
have with the combat is in the boss areas, and the dodging mechanic sucks ass in those boss battles.
I was going to get to that. But the other, with the teleporter thing and the enemy aggro, one of the main teleporters that I'm pretty sure is near the key you're on about has like 5 enemies on it. So you fucking teleport to it, and straight away they're ganging up on you. You're like, what bullshit is this? But I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot as well. This is why I say I'm conflicted, because I actually enjoyed my time with it. But it all boils down to the combat, and there's 2 support mechanics as well that add to combat that I feel aren't like they've kind of changed it a bit from what Souls games are, but for the worse. So the first is like dodging and stamina, like Connor said, I fucking hate. 2 main reasons.
Oh, it sucks. The dodging sucks in boss battles.
Yeah. One, if you press to dodge or run, it dodges first and then runs. Elden Ring, you run, and if you let go of the button, you dodge. That's how it should be done, because so many fucking times I just wanted to run to get away from an enemy, and you fucking roll somewhere and get stuck and then get whomped, and it's pass. Second one's just stamina. Go on.
There's a point in it where I got stuck. I don't know if anyone else got stuck, but there's a bloody turret that you have to like roll around. I don't know if you can block this. I've tried and it just did not work. And I died again and again and again, and I couldn't figure it out, and I just got frustrated more and more and more. And that was the point where I was like, I've got to turn on the God mode just to get past this part. And then I turned God mode off after I got past it. But after fighting that boss, I was like, I'm sticking God mode back on, and it ain't coming off.
Yeah.
Because that was really the only way I could enjoy this game.
I'd say that one of the issues that I've got is that most of the... And again, I'm like you, Shaun, I'm conflicted because the art style, I love it. The sound design is phenomenal. It ran at a solid 60 frames, never dipped, never had any issues. The world building is outstanding, especially with the maps that you find and the manual. And I think that it does have a nice little story behind it that you can pick little parts of as you go along. But I just come back to the combat. It's so bad. And most of the times that I'm dying in Tunic, I don't feel like it's my fault. I'm not bad at video games. Like I'm shit at Elden Ring, but that's just because I just don't have the patience. But I'm not bad at video games. Like I'm a pretty good gamer, but this game, it feels unfair. So, like you say, you will go to run. Oh, got to roll first. Oh, I've rolled near an enemy. Oh, he's going to chase me now for 5 minutes. Like it's just. I feel like you're constantly getting ganged up on. And I want to compare it directly to Death's Door. Death's Door was very nearly my game of the year last year. The only reason it wasn't was just because of how much I loved Artful Escape. But in Death's Door, whenever I died, I never felt like it was my fault, ever. And these are very comparable games. Death's Door does everything I think that Tunic does better. Everything that Tunic is trying to do, you can get a better experience in Death's Door. But that's not to say I don't like Tunic, because I love original Zelda games. That top-down level of exploration I think is one of the best game mechanics that's ever existed. And although I'm not a huge fan of later Zelda games, really Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask was where I tapered off of Zelda, those original games hold a really special place. So when I went into Tunic and I played the first hour of it, I was like, great, this is just Zelda, but looks nice.
I've never played a Zelda game in my life.
And then as it went on, the shine that they've put on it just wore off. How pretty this game looks cannot cover for the fact that it's so frustrating to play. Mm-hmm. And I'm really disappointed. I wanted to love this game. I did.
It all boils down.
It's a very misleading game. Like, art-wise, it's beautiful. Music-wise, it's beautiful. And that kind of does mislead you, especially in the combat with the music. There is no amping up of the music in the combat. And that kind of like, at first, frustrated me.
You could go into this. I know what you mean. You could go into this very easily thinking it's a kid's game.
It very feels stupid because
it feels very Super Lucky Tales, and then you find that first mob of enemies, and they just annihilate you immediately.
Because the music doesn't amp up, and it's so chilling. In combat, it's like kind of it feels like it's trying to put me to sleep while I'm fighting.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. Why is there no amping up of the music in combat?
That's a good point. To be honest, I hadn't even thought of that. That's a good point.
And it should be there. The music should elevate to a level where you want to fight the enemy and not fall asleep while fighting the enemy.
Mm. Yeah, and I think, again, going to go back to it, Death's Door did a really good job of that. Death's Door's sound design is fucking phenomenal.
When you fall into those chests and start the avarice sections and that music starts, heart rate increases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I think that it literally everything boils down to the combat in this game. Like they've leaned on the combat so much, and it really didn't need to be leaned on because the world is so good, and the like puzzle mechanics with the manual is so good that the combat it just had to be like in the background. It didn't need to be in the foreground. And this game would be fine.
The easiest way they could fix it, and I don't think putting the God mode in is the way they fix. I think they put the God mode in because they realised the combat was really shit. The easiest way to fix it is less enemies. Easy as that.
Not even that. There's one main fix because I've been mulling this over because I'm so conflicted with this game. I really want to enjoy it. One fix, but I don't know if they could do it with this game. It's like you'd have to like redesign the whole combat. So one fix that I think would have made this game perfect. And then also a quick fix for people that are like playing it at the moment. Give this a try. This is what I found. If you're relying on God mode, using it as like not so you can play the game, but because you just hate the combat, try turning off God mode and turning on infinite stamina, because I think a lot of the problem in the combat also lies with the stamina. And the reason is because when you run out of stamina, you get like a few debuffs, so you don't get invincibility frames when you're dodging. Stupid. And also, you take like double damage if you get hit when you've got no stamina. Also stupid. But the most stupid thing is you have to wait for your stamina bar to get all the way to the fucking top before it goes back to normal. So, and again, I'm going to have to compare it. Elden Ring, you dodge, run out of stamina, just walk about for a second, wait for it to go up a bit. You've got more stamina. Tunic, you have to dodge for some bosses because they're fucking relentless with like 5 attacks in a row. Run out of stamina, you're fucked. You're gonna take a hit because you can't really dodge properly until your stamina's regenerated. So you're gonna take a hit and it's gonna be double damage. So it's just So if you're struggling, try infinite stamina instead of God mode at first, because that. I actually did enjoy it a lot more for a while then, but then I got to like the end chapter. I was like, I just can't. I'm just kind of losing the will to play a game. What they needed to do fit this game, and I would easily welcome it if they'd done a sequel. Don't have your combat be action focused. Have it like the rest of the game and be puzzle focused, like Zelda, where enemies have a distinct weakness and bosses have the distinct 3-hit pattern and they're dead. If the combat was puzzle focused and not action focused, it would be amazing.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And also,
that's my problem with this game. I want to like it a lot.
Mm.
And I will talk about that in my pass or play.
Yeah, because you've got a pass or play. I think it'll be out tomorrow from when this episode drops.
It should be. Tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow from this episode, when this episode airs, or Wednesday.
So are you having much of the same issues that we've had then?
A few of the issues you have mentioned I have had, but there's also some that you've mentioned, like the mobs chasing you. I've not had that issue. I've managed to escape mobs quite successfully. But yeah, a lot of the issues, especially with the bosses and the annoyance of trying to dodge the boss only to be fucked over because they can move much quicker than you and attack much quicker than you, is pretty annoying. And I'll go into detail in that in my pass or play.
It just feels like a thoroughly unfair game. Most of the times that I've died, I don't feel like it's been my fault. And one other gripe that I have, in Zelda, when you found hidden areas, so in Link to the Past, if you found a hidden area, they were secrets, but they weren't just poor level design. So, you know what I mean, Shaun. In Tunic, there will just be random fucking gaps in walls that you can't see because of the isometric view. And I happen to roll once instead of run, and my just character grayed out, and I was like, oh, I'm behind a wall now. And that was how I found out where to go in order to get the shield.
That was a lot of me as well. I was just trying to...
I'd just randomly find myself. Yeah, I'd roll through walls and find myself in random places. Whereas one of the beautiful things about Zelda, early Zelda games, with these hidden areas and hidden caves and dungeons, was it never felt like it was because of poor level design. It felt like part of the puzzle of the world that you were solving. Whereas I got to a point in Tunic where I would just run into walls in the hope that maybe there was a gap in one of them. I'm going to leave it there because I think that we've covered, without spoiling too much of your video, Connor, I think we've covered a lot of it. But Shaun, the question is it a Game Pass or is it a gameplay? This
is where people get really confused, because I've spent the last 20 minutes slating the fuck out of some parts of this game. I would say give it a play, just because if you can get on with combat, you will love this game. And if you can't get on with it, then you might be like us, where you get a good few hours out of it that you enjoy, and then you'll be like, had enough of that now. But you'll still enjoy those hours. Yeah.
Is Death Store on Game Pass?
Death Store is on Game Pass, yeah.
It's so good.
It was my second favourite game of last year. It's immense.
But it's such a conflicting thing, because on the one end, you've got the combat, which is fucking dog shit and one of my least favourite things in recent times of gaming. And on the other end, you've got the exploration and the world building and the puzzle mechanics and oh my god, the manual is my favourite thing in gaming in recent times. So it's very... I don't know where to put it as a total package.
If only we had a relaunch for Season 4.
It's better than average, but it's not... the combat holds it back from being a great game. So it's sort of like... It's above average, but it's held back a bit from being great. But give it a play. Give it a try.
If only there was like a relaunch in Season 4 where we had 3 options instead of 2 when reviewing games, Shaun?
Well, there was that like little warmish middle ground sort of thing.
Maybe that's...
I'm probably going to add Death Store to the Parcel playlist, just so I can
do it. Honestly, I would say play it off the back of Tunic, because they're very comparable games. Cutesy characters, deep lore, great stories behind them, but one of them's got really good combat and one of them gets a Game Pass from me.
See, the thing is, I've got a couple of Parcel Play episodes that are planned. Shredders is the week after the Tunic episode. So I really need to find a place where I can slot it in.
I would say do it a little while after Tunic if you're finding the combat frustrating on Tunic. Not that the combat's frustrating on Death's Door, but because it's also that like very difficult style of combat, it might sort of grate you a bit because of coming off of the back of Tunic. So probably is best to do like a game or two.
I think I'll take Shredders, and there is another game I'm doing after Shredders, Half-Life 2. I've never played Half-Life 2.
Very nice.
There's a point I should have mentioned. Parcel Play is no longer about Game Pass. It's about all games. So whatever
there we go.
Whatever I kind of want to try is just going to probably end up being an episode of Parcel Play. And I also do Parcel Play live as well.
I saw. I jumped in the other day. It was really good. It was much like us. We started off as an Xbox podcast, but we're definitely multi-platform now. Don't limit yourself to one console, guys. They're all good. They're all fun.
I don't want to limit myself to Game Pass. I want to be able to look at a game and go, oh shit, I want to do that as an episode of Parcel Play.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to your Half-Life 2 episode because I've never played Half-Life 2 either. So
a good friend of mine gifted me that. So I'm going to do a Parcel Play on it because he is a huge fan of Half-Life. So.
I started playing it and then also, actually, that's another negative for Tunic. Started playing Half-Life 2 and the head crabs scared the fuck out of me. So, and the negative for Tunic is you've got spiders. Fuck, stop being lazy.
Spiders in a forest. Who would have known?
And that's the plus that I forgot to mention in Elden Ring. It is their version of spiders, because there's spiders, is genuinely like thought out and is actually different to spiders. I'll explain it. It's hands. You know the Addams family. You know the no. Oh, I hate those ants. You know the Addams family. You got the hand that like crawls around on the floor.
Yes,
that is their version of spiders.
Of them like that, isn't it?
They've got two hands grafted together, and it crawls around like that and like slams you. And it creeps me out, but at the same time, I was like, fair play for actually thinking it through and having a variant of a spider enemy.
Boom.
Good job, Elden Ring.
Was that Elden Ring you said, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah, in Elden Ring, they've got the hands.
I haven't got around to playing that yet, but it is on my list of Parcel Play, and I will get to it and do a Parcel Play on it.
It's very,
very, very good game. Yeah, I've tapped out now.
I'm like
20
I sort of know what's in
because I have played the first Dark Souls, so I have a sort of assumption of what to expect.
Don't go into it assuming anything because I fucking hate Souls games and I liked it. So
mechanical wise, you'll find you'll be able to get to grips with it a lot quicker and easier. But the actual over the course of it, like as the hours go on, it varies off from Souls games. But if you've played Souls games before, you'll have a better understanding of the base like mechanics in that. So
yeah, the only one I played is the first Dark Souls, and that was like a year or two ago.
You'll probably get to grips with it then. Now, Connor, we're going to round off the show. This is weird. We're rounding off the show with the answers. Bizarre. Still can't get used to this. It tripped up Duncan last week, which I loved. So,
as he said.
Love you, Dunks. We are going to end the show with the answers to Game Pass or Play. No, to Game in 60 Seconds. I fucked it up this time. So, Connor, what was your clue this week for Game in 60 Seconds?
Oh no, my jeans are open.
I still can't think what that could be.
Oh no, my jeans are open.
My jeans are open. I'm in the Game Pass app at the moment.
I was thinking of like fly.
It's so easy when you think about it. It's so easy.
Oh no, my jeans are open.
I was trying to think of like things related to flies.
Nope.
Zip?
Nope. That famous game Zip. Is it Zip?
Well, not just Zip, but like other bits as well.
Do you want me to give you the answer? Well,
yes, please.
I'll give you a little breakdown, and you'll get it from the breakdown.
Okay.
Oh no, my jeans are open. Undone Jeans.
Okay.
Got the game yet? Undungeon?
Undungeon. Yeah.
Undungeon.
That's good.
Undungeons. That's a belter.
That is amazing.
That's so good. I just dumped that Angry Inferno. Any clues?
I know.
Mm.
I actually looked when you sent me it a few days ago. I actually looked through the library. And I was like, I can't link any games to this.
No. So if you
Inferno makes me think of Dante's Inferno, but there's no way it can be that.
If you just dumped an Angry Inferno, it would be a very cross-fire X. That fire would be very cross, and it would also be my X.
Yep.
Crossfire X.
That's a good one.
Shaun, your one's not Broken Age, is it?
Just one more week.
Fuck off. Shaun, what is the answer to...
Mine was a picture of Daniel Bryan.
Who's the guy?
Mr. Yes, yeah, man. It's called Daniel Bryan. That was his WWE ring name, and now in AEW he's Bryan Danielson. Is that his actual name? I can't be
Bryan Danielson.
I'm pretty sure that's his actual name. And then WWE, because they like to trademark wrestlers' names so they can't use them elsewhere, called him Daniel Bryan. So it's him sat next to a Site of Grace from Elden Ring, and obviously Daniel Bryan, he's being the yes man. That makes the game Yes, Your Grace.
Oh my god, it's so obvious now.
And I even said yes.
And Grace.
And Grace. Oh, I got 2/3 of the answer. Oh, mate. Well, I think on that crushing stupidity.
To let it be known as well. That if I can read it up quickly. Oh god. Hurry up. Now Google's telling me it's bedtime.
Sleep well.
Well, Duncan got it during the episode. During recording, Duncan got it.
Oh, yes, Your Grace. That is a belter. I think 3 pretty good clues this week.
I'm quite proud of mine, to be honest. I think that's probably the best one I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a belter of one. That's really good. Should we go, Shaun?
Yeah, because I've just thought we talked about Viva Pinata for like 15 minutes, so I get to play it again to record to capture some footage.
Yeah, you do, boy. So I will speak to you in like 3 days. The great thing about cloud saves is you can just go straight back to your old saves.
I've got it installed. Viva Pinata is never uninstalled here.
I've got it on mine as well. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. I'm probably going to play it tonight as well. So, Connor, thank you again for coming on the show. Not coming on the show, that's gross. Thank you for appearing on Gamers Watch. How can people find you on the social media and on YouTube and such?
You can find me on Twitter, _general_C, and you can find me on YouTube, the General C, and that's where I make my videos. Well, upload my videos and stream. I've switched from Twitch to YouTube just because it's easier, and that's where my audience is. So I'd rather just keep it all centralized in one location.
Yeah, definitely. Now, has Shaun frozen for everybody else, or is it just me?
Where's everyone gone?
He's frozen for me too.
Oh no. Well, I don't really know what to do now. Hang on. Let me just try and get hold of him on Facebook Messenger. This might end with me calling Shaun on Facebook Messenger. This is next levels of ridiculous.
Hello.
What's happened, Shaun?
I'm waving on my camera and nothing's happening. Where am I?
Yeah, you've frozen. So, do you want to do the outro through here, mate?
I can do. Fucking hell. Is it actually going to record, though?
Oh, mate, we've not just lost an entire episode, have we?
It's still recording,
it'll still record up to the point where I cut out, but I mean, I don't know if it'll record on my. Oh, yeah, probably. Fuck it. I'll do the outro on here.
It's still recording for me, and it's still recording for Connor. So,
Yep.
Fuck it. Let's try it. So, right, this is weird. Okay, speak to the camera.
Well, what have you done so far?
You just cut out.
Okay. So, thank you for watching Gamers Watch episode 60. And if you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, then follow us on Twitter, which is at Gamers Watch Crew, and give us a little subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, catch up with the times and go on YouTube.
Like this.
For more brilliant content like this.
Yeah. For more terrible internet connections, subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a little like, leave a little comment, and hit the notification bell. And until next time, keep on watching.
And keep on gaming. Oh, mate. Well,
Fuck me.
ridiculous.